Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I like to stay active. I try to come in here at least 3 times a week and just get my 1-hour workout in. Since September, I think I've put on 22 pounds of muscle. I think my vertical has gone up plus 5 inches. I've gotten a lot faster since then too. I can hit the ball further. In football, I can push people around more. It's basketball easier too. Just being stronger just makes everything easier.
Brandon started with Gym Rat's basketball training. After one of the sessions, he came up to me and he wanted to know if he could do more. So Brandon started the EDGE program in November, in addition to the club training he was doing, because it offers personalized programming for his athletic goals. PSN Performance uses a long-term athletic development pyramid. At such a young age, it's really good for Brandon to set the foundation of athletic development. Since he is in season all year round, he has to be ready for all the physical demands. So he does a lot more strength training, just because in basketball he sprints and cuts a lot. In baseball he's doing a lot of sprinting. In football he does a lot of sprinting and jumping. So preparing him to withstand the physical demands of those games, he does a lot more strength training.
I like all the lower body stuff the best. I do goblet squats, split squats, back squat, front squat, a lot of those. Tyler knows what's best for me. He always points me in the right direction. He just pushes me to go harder every day.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
I just want to be the best in basketball, so I want to be the greatest of all time to play women's basketball. So I just know there's people out there working just as much as me, so I just want to keep working hard and keep that intensity going. And so one day I can pursue my dreams of being in the WNBA and playing overseas. So I just want bigger things to come in my life.
I remember when I started in March, she could do 0 pull-ups. She did have a great 25-inch vertical when she first started. She only weighed 150 pounds. One of our main mottos is do the simple things exceedingly well, and that's where we started. So we started the foundation, building her base, and now we've got to basically the peak of our pyramid of things that we can do with her. So we didn't skip any levels, we did all the basics, and she got really, really good at them, and that's what's led her to become as great as she is at basketball and performance.
I've watched her grow, the confidence-wise, the strength-wise, the jumping ability, her footwork. It's really amazing to kind of watch for a girl her size, being 6'3", 6'4", to move like she can move and do the thing and be as agile as she is, along with the strength.
Here at Always 100, we have different things that we provide each week with our elite training, working on things that can help them get a scholarship in the future if they don't have one right now. Watching skill development, helping kids get better, understanding what it takes to get to the next level. Catching and shooting, working on ball handling. In the last 5 years, we had over 200 kids that's able to play basketball at some places from the NAIA, Division III, Division II, or Division I level.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
Your kids grow up quick, and there's a lot to teach them. Some lessons they won't pick up in school. Some they'll learn the hard way. But when it's time to give them the keys to their finances, we'll be there to help with their first checking account and the tools they need to make sense of their money. And even though they're off on their own, you'll be able to check in to see how they're doing. Raising your children is important, and teaching them about money is a big deal. So ProFed makes it easy. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
And good morning, everybody, and welcome to this edition of High School Basketball here on SummitCitySports.com. I'm Thad Goff bringing the broadcast. We are here at Wayne High School as the Generals take on the Homestead Spartans, an SAC matchup. Homestead comes into this game at 2-0. Wayne comes into this game at 2-1, and Wayne has been getting better and better under head coach Laisha Gorman. Last year, they won 7 games, 7-14 overall. They had won 4 games the year before and just 1 the year prior to that. So definitely the Generals are taking some steps in the right direction. They've already won their first 2 games, the blowout win against Canterbury and then a road win against Blackford. That one a little closer, 58-52. But then back on Wednesday night, the Leo Lions came in here, and that's a team that is led by a very experienced head coach in Kerry Chappelle. Final score of that game was 48-42. The Lions getting the victory. Well, speaking of experienced head coaches, that is exactly what Homestead has with head coach Rod Parker. He has won 358 games coming into today, 2 closer to or 2 away from that 360 mark, and who knows, may get to the 400 mark. Probably won't happen this year. In fact, it won't happen this year. The season's not long enough. But it may happen in the next couple of years. Rod Parker has done a great job as the head coach of this Homestead basketball team. Led them to a state championship victory in 2017. They went 22-1 last year, won a sectional championship, but then were ousted, I believe, by Carroll in sectionals. In regionals is when they would have been ousted. They actually, I beg your pardon, that was the 2019-2020 regular season. And I want to correct myself. They were ousted by Northwestern in regionals. They beat Carroll in the regional semis, but then were beaten by Northwestern in the regional championship game. And last year, that was in the 2019-2020 season. And it was last year when Carroll did oust Homestead in the regional tournament, regional championship game. In fact, that was after Homestead won an overtime game against Noblesville in the first round of regionals. The Spartans won 20 games last year, 20-6 overall. It's an established program at Homestead going up against a building program at Wayne, still in that building process, but we'll see how much that build continues to grow. In fact, the Wayne Generals do have some quality players back from a year ago, some of which are scoring, averaging double figures. And this year, those players include the likes of Sidney Gorman, averaging 10.7 points per game. Amelia Diaz averages 11.3 points per game. Last year, the only double-digit scorer on this team was Shabrea O'Quinn. She's not on the roster for today, though, but Shabrea O'Quinn was the leading scorer for a year ago for the Wayne Generals. But 2 players averaging double figures this year. Diaz and Gorman Neither of those two players are seniors. Diaz is a junior, and Gorman is a sophomore. And Anaya Hill, she's another junior, might be a player to look out. She's averaging 9.7 points per game. She can shoot the three, so can Diaz. And we will certainly see what this Wayne team has to bring to the table against this Homestead basketball team. It'll be a big game for both teams. It's the SAC opener for both teams. Homestead has beaten Northridge and Carmel, as we are going to have the national anthem right now on SummitCitySports.com. And it looks like the teams will get a little extra warm-up time here, or at least Wayne will use that time to warm up. Homestead has gone back to the locker room. I would imagine Rod Parker has a few words for his athletes. They've already gotten to come out here and warm up. Again, Homestead has beaten both Carmel and Northridge, two teams that usually find themselves with winning records, and I believe that was the case for both of them last year. Well, we're going to be right back after this 2-minute break. You are watching high school basketball here on SummitCitySports.com.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Here at Always 100, we have different things that we provide each week with our elite training, working on things that can help them get a scholarship in the future if they don't have one right now. Watching skill development, helping kids get better, understanding what it takes to get to the next level, catching and shooting, working on ball handling. In the last 5 years, we had over 200 kids that's able to play basketball at some places from the NAIA Division III, Division II, or Division I level.
Your kids grow up quick, and there's a lot to teach them. Some lessons they won't pick up in school. Some they'll learn the hard way. But when it's time to give them the keys to their finances, we'll be there to help with their first checking account and the tools they need to make sense of their money. And even though they're off on their own, you'll be able to check in to see how they're doing. Raising your children is important, and teaching them about money is a big deal. So ProFed makes it easy. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing.
Back here at Wayne High School, we'll take a brief moment to get a word from one of our sponsors that allow us to come out and do these games that we get to do. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook pages for updated promotions and enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. And we will certainly hear from some more sponsors as we go on, but it looks like they're about to announce the starting lineups. Homestead will have their lineup announced first, and then it'll be Wayne to have their starting lineups announced. So we'll turn it over to the PA announcer for that.
Now the starters for the Homestead Spartans. Sophomore, number 4, Emma Royst. Junior, number 20, Molly Stock. Junior, number 22, Allie Stevens. Senior, number 30, Maggie Kingsley. And rounding up the starting lineup for the Spartans, senior, number 34, Ayana Patterson. The Spartans are led by Mr. Rod Parker. And now for the home team on the scoreboard, your one and only Lady Generals. One starter, sophomore, number 1, Sydney Gorman. Junior, number 3, Anaya Hill. Freshman, number 4, Tina Hairston. Freshman, number 5, Tanai Hairston. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Generals, number 15, Amelia Diaz. The Generals are led by Ms. Lacia Foreman. Your officials for this afternoon's ball game, Jay Lehrman, Joe Rondo, and Shane Salisbury.
Well, we are almost ready for the start of this game. As Homestead is out there and the Generals now about to take the court. We are glad to bring this game to you, as we are every other game here on SummitCitySports.com. Ayana Patterson will tip it off for Homestead. That's Tanae Hairston set to tip it off for Wayne. Ayana Patterson, by the way, has already signed her letter of intent to go to UConn. And in case you're wondering, yes, Gino Ariema is still the head coach at UConn. And the tip is going to be won by the Spartans into the backcourt. They get it to the top of the key, a little shot fake there by Kinsley. They get it inside to Patterson against the triple team. Patterson goes up and puts it home. Against 3 defenders, Ayana Patterson able to put it home for Sparty. And they've got a 2-0 lead. Over to Hill. She'll try the corner 3, and that wouldn't fall. Patterson reaches over everybody to get the board. Here's a quick outlet down the floor, and Stevens able to put it home. Beg your pardon, that's Molly Stock who gets the bucket, and Homestead out to the early 4-0 lead. And that's going to be a takeaway. Patterson eventually comes up with it, and whistles blow. As that was Kinsley who got the takeaway for Homestead, but might have turned it over in the process. It's already a 4-0 lead for the Spartans as the inbound here goes to Anaya Hill. Hill feeds it back to the top of the key. That's Sydney Gorman. The lob inside, knocked away, and then taken away by the Spartans. And a blocking foul going to be called. Emma Royce came up with a loose ball. They're trying to get it to Tanae Hairston down low. Well, Homestead able to score in the half-court offense the first time around as Ayana Patterson got the feed inside and scored against 3 defenders, scored against the triple team. Then found Molly Stock in transition. Patterson got the assist. And it was Molly Stock who got the bucket in transition. Here's another entry pass to Patterson. A little step back this time, but that's too strong. Tanai Hairston, I beg your pardon, comes up with the rebound. They get it back to Hill as Wayne's defense gets their first stop of the game. Tanai Hairston backs out and finds Tanae Hairston. Back to Tanai, and Tanai gets fouled on her way to the basket. Is not in the act of shooting. They call the foul on Maggie Kinsley. Hairston trying to get to the basket, has it knocked away. That's Royst who knocks it out of bounds. And Wayne will take over. Mariah Luna to put it in play for the Generals. She lobs it in. Tough pass, but it's Hill who's there to receive it. Loose ball, and it's taken away. That's Kinsley who comes up with a turnover. Patterson down the floor. Count the basket, and one. Ayanna Patterson. Having a good day early on here at Wayne High School. Amelia Diaz called for the foul that time, and Patterson with a chance to complete a three-point play and could not knock it down. The rebound grabbed by Anaya Hill. She was the only one there to grab it. Long lob over to Diaz. A 6-0 lead early on for Homestead. Hill trying to get inside, and then Patterson forces the turnover. Patterson on the fast break to the basket. She scores. And that's going to prompt a timeout called by Wayne head coach Laisha Gorman. And while they take a timeout, we will take one as well. You are watching high school basketball here on Summit City Sports.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here at Wayne High School. The Spartans of Homestead lead the Generals by a score of 8-0, and there's a near takeaway there for Patterson. Patterson tipped the ball there, it looked like, but they get it to Sydney Gorman. Gorman looking to go baseline, draws the double team, and then has it taken away, tried to throw it off the foot of, it looked like Stock. And Royce down the floor has to feed it off at the last second. Loose ball out of bounds. Wayne takes over. I believe Patterson is up to 6 points for this game. Sydney Gorman will get the inbound. Gets it across the timeline to Hill. Hill looking to go baseline. And that's going to be a foul, I think, called against the Generals, and we'll get the call here. They get Tanae Hairston for that foul. That's the second team foul. Or is that the third team foul? That's what the scoreboard says. Sid Freed has checked into the game for Homestead. Loose ball, just barely recovered by Royst along the sideline. The feed inside to Patterson, looking to go one-on-one. And a hook and hold has been called, I believe. Amelia Diaz is going to be called for that foul. That's her second. And 8-0 lead for Homestead on the road. As Michaela Johnson has just checked into the game for Wayne. Tried to get it into Freed. Instead, the pass goes into Allie Stevens. She finds Patterson, and Patterson's got the bucket. A lob goes out of bounds, and Wayne turns it over as that ball ends up in the stands. Inbound goes to Patterson. Patterson wants to use the baseline, spins around, and puts it home. Are you kidding me? Have a night, Ayanna Patterson. Or should I say have a day? It's not nighttime yet. The entry pass inside. Wayne might turn it over in the end, and they do. That's over and back. As Elijah Holbrook went to chase it down. Homestead with the possession. Evie Bottoms into the game for the Spartans. There's Patterson out at the top of the key. Patterson is up to 10 points already, and did I mention she committed to UConn, and not only committed, but signed her letter of intent earlier this week. I believe that was Wednesday when that happened. We get a foul, meanwhile, on the interior. It was before the shot, so no free throws for the Spartans. Tanai Hairston called for the foul. Tanai is number 5. Tanay is number 4. Inbound goes to Patterson. This is Evie Bottoms out of the top of the key. Feeds Patterson on the interior. Not this time, but she gets her own rebound. And traveling is the call. Wayne takes over, down 12-0. This is Gorman bringing the ball across the timeline. Sydney Gorman for the Wayne Generals. They try to get something on the board. They had a close game here against Leo earlier this week. That's Patterson, who got her hands up, but she knocked it out of bounds. Generals keep the ball. Wayne gave Leo a ball game earlier this week, but the Lions came out with the win. Lions are coached by head coach Carrie Chappelle. And there's a takeaway right off the inbound. Evie Bottoms with the takeaway, and here come the Spartans. This is Patterson. Slows it down, kicks it back outside. They work it around to Bottoms. Stevens drives to the basket. 1-on-2, and Stevens wins the battle. Lob inside, and that's a takeaway. And then a foul called, I think, after the takeaway. Ball ended up in the hands of Sid Freem. Tanai Hairston called for the foul. As we've got 3:18 to go here in this first quarter. Homestead, beg your pardon, there has a 14-0 lead. Not 12-0. It was 12-0 as Allison Stevens now has 2 points for the game, her first 2 points of the game. She's one of only 2 players besides, make it 3 players besides Ayanna Patterson, who has scored today. That's Sid Freem who comes up with a bucket. And Homestead is up 16-0. Luna feeds it to the corner, gets it back. Homestead looks like they're in the zone defense, and that jump shot would not fall. Evie Bottoms down the floor, leaves it back to Molly Stock. Another one-on-one for Patterson, and her hook shot wouldn't fall. Out of bounds. I think that went off of, I thought it went off of Patterson. Apparently it went off the Generals. Nope. The official said White. I thought he meant off of White, but no, it's White ball. So Wayne will take over. Down 16-0 with 2:30 to go in this first quarter. A lot of basketball left to be played, but this is a Homestead team that can get out ahead of you early, and that's really been the case for quite some time. And if they get out ahead of you early, it is hard to come back. A catch and shoot for 3, and that wouldn't fall. Out of bounds, off of Wayne. Molly Stock brings it up the floor for the Spartans. Little pass fake there by Stock. Backs it out. And they work it around the perimeter. And inside to Freem. She finds Patterson. Great ball movement. And Patterson scores. 18-0. Homestead with the lead as this ball goes out of bounds. And it was last touched by Homestead. We've got 1:47 left to go here in the first quarter. As Wayne tries to get on the board before this first quarter comes to an end. Homestead has become known for basketball here in the city of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Chris Johnson became the head coach of the boys team over 20 years ago. Rod Parker was on that staff. That three ball is good. Amelia Diaz from downtown. And indeed, Wayne does get on the board. As I said, Rod Parker was on that boys staff with Chris Johnson, and now I believe this is his 20th season as the head coach at Homestead for the girls team. He and Chris Johnson have something in common. They've both won state championships. There's an offensive rebound by Freem, and a jump ball is the call. It's going the other way as Wayne gets the possession arrow. Slowing things down is Luna. Gorman with the lob inside to Tanae Hairston. Hairston trying to feed it. She does, and that shot goes off the glass. No good. Loose ball. It's out of bounds. Wayne keeps it. Looked like that went off of Claire Landegren. And the Generals keep the ball as Diaz will put this one in play. Pull-up jumper. That's no good. And that's Landegren who comes down with the rebound. Here comes Homestead. A 16-3 lead for the Spartans. Stepping inside is Kinsley. Her jumper wouldn't fall. And Diaz comes up with the board down to 32 seconds. Diaz fouled on her way toward the three-point line. It's on Maggie Kinsley. It's only Homestead's second foul of the game. 6 fouls so far committed by Wayne. But they've got a chance to get back-to-back buckets, going a little bit of a run of sorts. They did score the last basket. It was a three-pointer by Diaz. Little step-back three by Gorman, and that's off the mark. Battle for the rebound. Putback wouldn't go. And it's ripped away by Sid Freem. Little fake there by Molly Stock trying to get to the basket. No. And a foul is called as looked like it was Kinsley who went up with the shot. Beg your pardon, Molly Stock went up with the shot. Beg your pardon, that is Kinsley. Molly Stock's number 20. Maggie Kinsley is number 30 for Homestead. 7.6 left to go in this first quarter. Well, one thing that Homestead has not done yet in this game is make a free throw. They're 0 for 2. Patterson had a chance to complete a three-point play earlier in this game and could not do so. But Kinsley will try to get him off the free throw shooting snide. Does not do it on this possession. And there for the rebound was Malaysia Moore. That is a long three by Gorman, and it's an air ball at the buzzer. So the fourth quarter ends with Homestead leading 18-3. We're back after 1 minute on SummitCitySports.com.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance.
Your kids grow up quick, and there's a lot to teach them. Some lessons they won't pick up in school. Some they'll learn the hard way. But when it's time to give them the keys to their finances, we'll be there to help. With their first checking account and the tools they need to make sense of their money. And even though they're off on their own, you'll be able to check in to see how they're doing. Raising your children is important, and teaching them about money is a big deal. So ProFed makes it easy. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing.
Welcome back to Wayne High School. We begin the second quarter as Homestead has an 18-3 lead. Homestead has gotten most of their buckets on the interior, and it's largely been Ayanna Patterson who has gotten the buckets for Homestead. I believe she's up to 14 points, make that 12 points, but now it's 14 as Patterson puts that one home. Drive inside. Hairston's shot no good. That's Royce who comes up with the rebound. Stock has an open three but couldn't knock it down. Malaysia Moore comes up with a rebound. So for Patterson, she's now up to 14 points after that last bucket she scored to start the quarter, and we get a foul called. It's going to be on Molly Stock. Inbound will go to Anaya Hill. This Wayne team has been improving in recent years, but there's a turnover. Allison Stevens right in the passing lane. Tried to leave it off for Patterson. Patterson's able to regather. 3-ball no good from Kinsley, and Patterson reaches over for the board, and then Stevens splashes home a 3-ball. Allison Stevens now with 5 points in the game. That 3-ball is good on the other end, Amelia Diaz. I believe all of Wayne points have come from Diaz's 3-point shooting thus far. Patterson will use the baseline. Off the glass, puts it home. Patterson is having a field day here at Wayne. 25-6 in favor of the Spartans, and she's up to 16 points for the game. Loose ball into the hands of Patterson. Fast break opportunity. Patterson will feed to Stock, and then Stock steps back for 3 and drains it. Molly Stock up to 5 points for the game, much like Allison Stevens. Entry pass inside, loose ball. Hairston lost it. It's on the deck. And the Arrow's going to keep it with the Generals. And now Homestead has called a timeout. Well, while they take a timeout, we will also take one. Back in a moment here on Summit City Sports. We're back here at Wayne High School. The Generals about to inbound after the jump ball. Mariah Luna puts it in play. They go outside to Diaz. Diaz, step back 3 with a hand in her face, and it's long and out of bounds, and apparently it was touched by Homestead. I think Kinsley was the one who came out to defend and just got a piece of the ball before it went out. So Wayne will keep the possession. They are down, though, 22 points, 28-6 the score. Drive to the basket and a turnover. That's Molly Stock coming the other way for Homestead, and it's knocked away by Diaz. They call Diaz for the foul there. That's her 3rd personal foul, 8th team foul. Generals have out-fouled the Spartans so far 8-3. Molly Stock is at the free throw line for Sparty. And her free throw is good. That's the first made free throw of the game for Homestead. 29-6 they lead over Wayne. Second one rattles home. And now Homestead is off the free throw shooting Schneid. Their first 2 free throws of the game come from Molly Stock. Holbrook feeds it outside to Luna. Holbrook looking to go baseline but could not control the ball, and it's out of bounds. Did Homestead touch it last? Apparently so. Sydney Gorman will come into the game for Wayne. 5:19 to play. Entry pass knocked away by Patterson. A kickball is called. .5:17 left to go here in the second period as Gorman looks to put the ball in play and gets it into Anaya Hill. Looks like a man-to-man defense here by the Spartans. Loose ball, it goes out of bounds off of Patterson as Tanai Hairston was trying to get to the bucket. An elongated possession here for the Generals, but they remain down 24 points. This is Mariah Luna to put the ball in play for the Generals, and she does get it in. Over to Hill at the top of the key. Hairston tries to get inside. Loose ball, turnover. Stevens coming the other way. Stevens to the bucket. She scores. An easy transition bucket for Allison Stevens. Luna feeds it back outside. Gorman, the step back three, no good. And that could be traveling. Nope, it's a jump ball. Possession arrow will give it to Homestead as Kinsley got tied up there as Sid Freem checks into the game for Sparty. 4:38 to go here in this first half. Entry pass to Patterson, one-on-one. And she's going to be called for the offensive foul. Must have lowered the shoulder as she leaned in there. That's only Patterson's first foul of the game, fourth team foul for Homestead. They've not committed very many fouls, only 4 so far this half. Homestead's already in the penalty with Wayne having committed 8 fouls so far. The feed back to Anaya Hill, and Hill will get the screen from Hairston. Finds Gorman in the corner, and that ball's going in the backcourt, and Hairston will grab it before it goes out of bounds, and Homestead will take over. Second time we've had an over and back called in this game. There's a catch and shoot from downtown from Molly Stock. She chases down her own rebound and finds Patterson. And Patterson able to put it home. And how about the hustle by Molly Stock? She did not let that one go. Little floater by Luna wouldn't fall. And Homestead's got it. Up to Patterson. Patterson with an easy opportunity, and she takes advantage. 20 points for Ayanna Patterson. Here's Luna on the other end. Luna feeds it back outside. That's Hill. Oh, my goodness. She jumped up in the air and came back down. That's traveling. A 36-6 lead for Homestead here on the road, taking on the Wayne Generals. Patterson able to get that one to Evie Bottoms. There's a catch and shoot for 3 for Molly Stock, and she drains it. And there's a takeaway. Oh, my goodness, Stock hit it right off the referee, and Luna was there to gather the ball. Luna with it again. Looking to drive against Stock. Feeds it to the outside. Hill slips it off to Gorman for 3. That's an air ball. Wide open is Stevens down the floor, and Stevens will put it in. Homestead has had a number of easy transition buckets in this game. And by the way, Ayanna Patterson, who had a transition bucket earlier, she's averaging 24.5 points per game. She's already up to 20 points for this time. Good contest there. The shot no good. Stevens looking for the extra pass, but it's knocked away by Hill. Luna picked up by Patterson. Gets it inside. That basket is good. Malaysia Moore with the bucket for Wayne. They get their first transition bucket of the game. Down 41-8 are the Generals. The lob for Patterson. Tough catch, and Patterson scores. And that's going to lead to a substitution, not a timeout, as Landrigan will check into the game along with Hillary Adams and number 50, Sanaya Sandlin. Michaela Johnson has just checked in as well for the Generals as they are down 43-8. A minute 39 left until halftime. Two-three zone, it looks like, by the Spartans. That pass goes over the head of Johnson, but it's out off of Homestead. Looked like both Sandlin and Adams touched the ball before it went out of bounds. So Wayne keeps it. Down by 35 points. Here's Hill. A little shot fake there by Hairston. Back out to Hill. Johnson gives that one up to Hairston. They had Malaysia Moore posting up down low, but there's Anaya Hill for the bucket. I think that's Anaya Hill's first basket of the game. We're inside the final minute of the first half. Entry pass inside to Sandlin. Sandlin, turnaround jumper, left it short, but the putback is good. Sydney Freem puts it home. 45-10 in Homestead's favor as we're down to 40 seconds on the clock. Hill was thinking about the three, chose not to shoot it. Hairston fakes, gets it back to Hill. Hill had the bucket on Wayne's last possession. She'll drive inside, gives that one up to Moore. Tanai Hairston for three, that's off the mark. Battle for the rebound. And Homestead comes up with it. The feed inside, Sandlin. Turn around, no good. Putback is no good. Just barely kept alive there by Freem. And that shot right at the buzzer by Sanaya Sandlin to close it out. 47-10 as Sandlin closes out the half with a buzzer beater to give Homestead a 37-point lead. Oh, what a first half put together by the Spartans. Ayanna Patterson, no doubt the star of that half. She's got 22 points. And we will come back as soon as we get in a couple words from our sponsors here at SummitCitySports.com. Kelly Automotive Group is Indiana's #1 automotive group with over 1,000 new vehicles and 500 pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Please visit DriveKelly.com. Simple, transparent, and reliable. Tom Steele Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They will help you to find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services like brakes, wheel alignments, engine diagnostics, and more. You're invited to join ProFed Credit Union, where we get to know you to better serve you. Sign up online in 5 minutes or stop by a branch. Join ProFed today and start owning your financial future at profedcu.org. At Ottenweller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind during the entire process from bid to build. Visit OttenwellerContracting.com for more information. (47-10) at halftime. Homestead on top of Wayne. We'll be back after this break. You are watching high school basketball here on SummitCitySports.com.
I came into PSM my freshman year after volleyball. Just coming here just really improved mentally and physically. I brought in my strengths. I came in and I learned how to grow as an athlete. I mean, I've gotten stronger, sprint faster, get up higher. My jump has elevated. Working with Tyler, he built up my endurance for everything, whether it's in weights, sprints. All across the board, we just keep working, and I have athlete development at Warsaw High School that I go to, and so I send him my thing every day, and he changes what we do in here to adapt to what we do there. high school volleyball, when you can go up to 5 sets, being able to outwork everybody and still being able to put in that 100% was huge for me. PSM performance definitely helped me mentally. I know I can beat out people. I know I can work for what I have, and I know I can even go to the next level on the court. Looking at college, I can put on it. I'm training at a college level. I mean, I come in here and I watch college athletes train. You have hockey players, soccer. You look around and you see every type you can. Just being able to see that level, and I know that I can reach that level as well. You got to work to be the best, and that was just what I wanted to do. I knew that from a young age. I wanted to put in the work.
The athletes has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, I mean, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, I mean, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really cool.
We are at halftime here at Wayne High School, and the homestanding Generals trail the visiting Spartans of Homestead 47-10 at halftime. Quick word from another one of our sponsors before we go any further that allow us to come out and do these games that we get to do here on SummitCitySports.com. Summit Volleyball trains and builds the highest quality volleyball players in the area. From ages 5 to 18, our players are equipped with elite-level skills and a foundation of life skills. Jump on board. Together, we can reach the summit. Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning is dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business, a system and solution that fits your unique needs. Visit AndersonCoolHeat.com. iCryo specializes in whole-body cryotherapy, body sculpting, cryofacials, infrared sauna, and compression therapy services. Check out Jalen Smith's signature location on Coliseum Boulevard by Blaze Pizza right here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Well, again, Homestead is all over Wayne so far, and we're going to show you a couple of our replays. Big reason why Homestead's all over Wayne is because of the play of Ayanna Patterson. Ayanna Patterson has been a starter at Homestead since she was a freshman. At least she was averaging double digits in points as a freshman. Here she takes advantage of the turnover, gets out ahead of the pack, and scores. I believe that's her second, make that her third bucket of the game for Patterson. But she wasn't done. Moments later, Patterson would jump this route and come up with a steal and get to the basket and put it home in transition. Looked like she got a little help as well. That might have been Evie Bottoms who helped get the takeaway, but Patterson able to score on the run out that time. And this time, Patterson using the baseline, drawing defenders to herself. Two defenders would come into a close range to her, but Patterson is able to get past both of them. She actually scored against 3 defenders, a triple team for her first bucket of this game. That was the first bucket of the game for either team when Patterson made it 2-0 Homestead. And Patterson is up to, I believe, 22 points for the game, leads all scorers by quite a bit. Now, Allison Stevens and Molly Stock have chipped in with 5 extra points apiece. Also, Sydney Freem has scored 40 points. Now, for Wayne, I believe Amelia Diaz is their leading scorer. Diaz has 6 points in this game, a couple of threes that she's been able to knock down. Anaya Hill also with a jumper in this game. And Malaysia Moore has also put the ball in the basket. Well, that's Homestead out to do their halftime warm-ups, and we will be back in just a matter of moments. You're watching high school basketball on this broadcast from SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Dealing with joint pains, sprains, strains, or back pain? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, Ortho Express has specialized orthopedic physicians on staff when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Ortho Express is open Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Friday 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 260-266-4007 for more.
We're back here. It is halftime here at Wayne High School. Homestead leading 47-10, and another quick word from one of our sponsors before we go any further. Are you ready to do what it takes to put your past behind you, whether it's expunging your criminal record or helping to get your driver's license reinstated? Jolie Law Firm is your answer. Jolie Law Firm is your answer, I beg your pardon. And now, Sioka Cleaning and Restoration provides top-notch commercial cleaning services, including janitorial, water damage, and state-of-the-art disinfecting services throughout Northeast Indiana. Contact them at 260-483-2112 or visit them online at siokas.com. That's siokas.com. Well, I want to correct myself from earlier. Allison Stevens does not have 5 points. She actually has 9 points in the game. And Molly Stock does not have 5 points either. She has 10 points in the game. Those are the two second and third leading scorers in reverse order. I mentioned Stevens first, then Stock. Stock is the second leading scorer. Stevens is the third for this game, as Homestead has a 47-10 lead. Their leading scorer for this game and for the season is Ayanna Patterson. Patterson averages 24.5 points per game. She's very close to topping that average for this game alone. Again, she's got 22 points for this particular game as teams are back out there, and we'll get in another word from our sponsors that allow us to do these games that we get to do here on SummitCitySports.com. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. We serve every level of athlete with our integrated sports medicine team, including the region's only specialized athletic rehab facility. Learn more about our services by logging on to ParkviewSportsMedicine.com.
Starting period 3, this will be a running clock now to the end of the ball game.
We just got the announcement it will be a running clock. That's new in the state of Indiana this year. Games go into a running clock when the league gets to 35 points or more, and right now that is when the league gets to 35 points or more in the second half, and right now it's at 37 for Homestead. And the officials pointed over to the sideline.
The clock will stop on free throws and timeouts only.
It was about to be Wayne's basketball, but now they're giving the ball back to Homestead. And I'm not sure if the possession arrow was set in correctly. It's set right for now as the inbound goes to Patterson. Patterson gives that one up to Molly Stock. Stock feeds that one to Stevens. Patterson, the turnaround off glass, banks it in. And Patterson is up to 24 points. She averages 24 and a half for the season. She scored 25 in the opener against Carmel and then 24 in the second game of the season against Northridge. I believe the Carmel game was on the road down in the Indianapolis area. That is a near takeaway. Ball's on the deck. Battle for it. It's going to be Wayne ball. Jump ball gives the possession arrow to the Generals. As Anaya Hill gets set to put it in play. Gorman gets that one over to Hill. I still remember the last time I was here for a Homestead versus Wayne basketball game. There was a basketball game going on, but there was also an introduction of a new head football coach. Sherwood Haydock got to introduce a few members of the media as well as mostly the parents. It was mainly for the parents to meet the new head coach, and they got to meet him. And Haydock's been a very successful head coach. He Just finished up his second season as head coach. I also remember I was sick as a dog during that game. Somehow managed to get through it without losing my voice. Emma Royce, meanwhile, called for the foul. I'm not sick as a dog today, although the seems like the flu bug and cold bug have been going around lately as Hill misses that three ball. That's a contested three by Gorman. It grazes the iron and goes out. Stock will get this one across the timeline, feeds Patterson. Kinsley kicks that one back out. That's Royce trying to get to the bucket, and she may have been fouled in the process, and she was. It's Sydney Gorman who gets called for the foul, and so Royce will go to the free throw line. As Royce is able to knock down the first of two free throws. Two for two goes Royce. Gorman picked up defensively by Molly Stock. Hill with the catch and shoot from downtown. That would not fall. Battle for the rebound. They're going to say that Hairston was inbounds when she grabbed it. It was close, but Kinsley grabs this rebound. A 51-10 lead for Homestead as they try to go to 3-0 on the season. This is the conference opener for both teams. Wayne has played two teams from the Fort Wayne area, one from right here in Fort Wayne. That's Canterbury as Patterson chases down the loose ball. Tough shot. It's good. Molly Stock able to put it home. Generals trying to go back down in transition. They turn it over. Wide open down the floor is Stock. Kind of just tipped it out to Stevens, and then Patterson able to curl it home. "26 points for Patterson. That's a season high for the junior front court player who got to start as a freshman and was one of the top scorers on this team, I believe, as a freshman, but also as a sophomore. And that was a team that included Riley Parker and Sydney Graber, two excellent athletes who were seniors at the time. There's a step-back three that does not fall from Stevens. In fact, it goes over the backboard and out. $55-10 in favor of Homestead. Mariah Luna into the game. Hill feeds that one out to Luna. Cross-court pass, Diaz. Luna fires from the corner, no. Patterson has it. That's Stock racing up the floor, out of bounds. It'll stay with the Spartans. Evie Bottoms checks into the game, and Stock will put it in play. Inbound to Patterson. Patterson, spin move. Couldn't bank it home. Tanae Hairston comes down with the rebound for the Generals. A 55-10 lead as we're down to 3:10 left in this first quarter. That shot too strong off the glass. And back the other way comes Stock. Feeds it to Kinsley. Shot fake. Kinsley up with it. And a foul. Tanae Hairston called for the foul, and this will be two free throws for Maggie Kinsley. Kinsley left the first one short. Homestead was not knocking down their free throws early on in this one as Holbrook comes into the game. Aaliyah Holbrook, I beg your pardon. She's a junior, plays the guard position. Second one rims out. Offensive board, Stevens. And Stevens gets fouled, and she'll go to the line. Tanae Hairston called for that foul. That's her fourth. Third team foul this half for Wayne. And Stevens couldn't get that one to fall. As now Malaysia Moore will check into the game. Second free throw rims out. Moore is there for the rebound. Gets it up the floor to Diaz. Diaz lobs it. Entry pass off the hands of Hairston. She's able to chase it down. Back out to Diaz. Finds Holbrook. Holbrook with a contested three, and it comes up short. Stock is there for the rebound. Entry pass to Patterson. Puts it in off the glass. Patterson just keeps it going. She's up to 28 points for the game. She already had her career high for this, or excuse me, her season high for this year. Probably not a career high, but she did have a season high when she scored her 26 points of the game. That ball's knocked away. That's going to be a foul on Evie Bottoms. That's her first foul, only the second this half for Homestead. Homestead has held Wayne scoreless here in this third quarter so far. They've outscored the Generals 10-0 in the quarter. Holbrook gets a screen, gets to the basket, and gets fouled. And it looks like Holbrook will be going to the line. It's on Maggie Kinsley. That's her third foul. I think she's the only Spartan who's in any kind of foul trouble at this point. Maggie Kinsley, as I recall, got some good minutes off the bench as a sophomore when Homestead had that 22-1 season. The free throw is good. It was a team that included, as I mentioned, not only Ayanna Patterson as a sophomore, but also a couple of standout seniors in Sydney Graber and Riley Parker. Riley Parker is Rod Parker's daughter. I believe he's one of two daughters that he's been able to coach in his time at Homestead. Patterson calling for it, gets it, feeds it off. Stevens trying to go up with it, couldn't put it in. And Homestead turns the ball over. We're inside the final minute of the third quarter. The officials are discussing something, perhaps discussing whether Wayne might have touched that ball last, and Rod Parker's going to take a timeout. It is a 30-second timeout. We will stay with you for this one and try to get in one more word from our sponsors. Allow us to come out and do this game here at SummitCitySports.com. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it is game on. We are the region's largest integrated sports medicine team, providing athletes specialized services from improving their performance to recovering from injuries. To learn more, go to ParkviewSportsMedicine.com. I want to remind you that we've got more high school girls basketball coming up for you on Summit City Sports. We've got Dwenger taking on Snyder. That'll be at Snyder High School, one of the other FWCS schools in the Fort Wayne Community Schools District. Tim Atkinson has the call on that one. And we will also have Northrop playing host to Concordia. I'll be on the call for that one. Both Northrop and Concordia bringing in first-year head coaches. Katie Jackson coaching at Northrop, and Nicole Bollinger coaching at Concordia. There's Patterson going after the takeaway, and she knocked it out. It's off of Patterson, and it goes back to the Generals. Nicole Bollinger spent a number of years as the JV head coach at Concordia, worked with Dave Miller, who was the longtime head coach, and there's Molly Stock, who gets the takeaway. Looked like she dribbled it off her feet, though. They did not call a kickball. And here's Stevens with a feed to the corner. Stock from downtown, rattles out. Offensive board Kinsley, and she gets fouled in the process. They call the foul on Malaysia Moore. And that will send Kinsley to the free throw line. Her first free throw is no good. In fact, I was talking about that 2019-2020 regular season just 2 years ago. Homestead actually lost all of 2 games that whole season, one in the regular season. Rod Parker, the head coach, was diagnosed with cancer and was not able to coach for a period of the season. During that time, Kara Ankenbrook stepped in, served as the interim head coach, and I believe she led Homestead to a 10-1 record in that span while Parker was out. But the third quarter has come to an end, and Homestead with a 58-12 lead over Wayne as we go to the fourth quarter. Back in just a moment here on SummitCitySports.com.
Here at Always 100, we have different things that we provide each week with our elite training, working on things that can help them get a scholarship in the future if they don't have one right now. Watching skill development, helping kids get better, understanding what it takes to get to the next level, catching and shooting, working on ball handling. In the last 5 years, we had over 200 kids that's able to play basketball at some places from the NAIA, Division III, Division II, or Division I level.
Ready to start the fourth quarter here at Wayne High School. The visiting Homestead Spartans lead at 58-12 as they try to go to 3-0 in the regular season. It's the first game against the SAC for either team as Maggie Kinsley gets fouled. Wayne has played both Canterbury and Leo. Those two teams are in the Fort Wayne area. Canterbury is right in Fort Wayne. Leo is, of course, in the town of Leo, that though is not in Fort Wayne, is part of Allen County. As Kinsley is able to knock down the first of 2 free throws. And the free throw shooting has been decent, but not great today for Homestead. That's probably one area where head coach Rod Parker would like to see some improvement down the road. But Kinsley is able to go 2 for 2, and Homestead will break 60 points before this one's all said and done. They have gotten it to 60 points before this one's all said and done. Here's Diaz. Holbrook feeds it back over to Diaz. A catch and shoot from the corner, and Diaz couldn't get it to fall. Diaz has hit 2 threes in this game for Wayne. She is a good three-point shooter, and that's something that Wayne certainly can build off of as the season goes on. That 3 is good. Claire Landegren. 63-12 in Homestead's favor, and I guess now you can say that they've broken 60. There's Diaz off the catch and shoot, and that one's off the mark. Tanae Hairston with the ball out of the top of the key, waiting for a screen. Instead, turns it over. Right into the hands of Maggie Kinsley. And here's Landegren up the floor, able to put it home in transition. Out to Diaz. Diaz drives, loses the ball. Off the glass and good. That's Hairston who puts it home. As Wayne is able to prevent the turnover and get a bucket. Their first made field goal this second half, by the way. Entry pass to Kinsley. Kinsley spins inside and scores. That gives Kinsley 5 points for the game as Tanae Hairston will check in for Wayne. Holbrook feeds it to the corner. That's Gorman. Little shot fake. Loose ball. Picked up by Hairston. Back over to Gorman. looking to use the baseline, draws the double team, and then gets fouled. Sid Freem will be called for that foul. Elia Holbrook will go to the free throw line. And a timeout is taken by Homestead. They've now got 2 left for the game. And we'll be right back after this break here on this edition of SummitCitySports.com.
Here at Always 100, we have different things that we provide each week with our elite training, working on things that can help them get a scholarship in the future if they don't have one right now. Watching skill development, helping kids get better, understanding what it takes to get to the next level, catching and shooting, working on ball handling. In the last 5 years, we had over 200 kids that's able to play basketball at some places from the
Celia Holbrook at the free throw line for the Generals, and her first free throw is good. Wayne has been held to just 5 points this second half. They were held to 10 points in the first. Make that 6 points here in the second half as Homestead is up by 51 over the Generals. Royst feeds that one to the top of the key. This is Hillary Adams. Gets it off to Freem. Adams gives that one up. Royce for 3. Got it. And I think that's Emma Royst's first bucket of the game. Nope, it's her second bucket of the game. She's got 5 points total. Her first 3 of the game. Hairston backing in. That's double dribble. She dribbled once and then picked up her dribble and then dribbled again. It's a pretty easy call even for the far side official. Here's Adams bringing it across the timeline. Bottoms feeds it inside. That shot no good. That's Brooklyn Freem, and a foul is called. Basket is good for Freem, and she's going to the line for a chance at a three-point play. Holbrook called for the foul, as Homestead is headed to a record of 3-0 to start the season. Wayne will fall to 2-2. They'll drop their first 2 home games of the season. Three-point play, meanwhile, is successful. Diaz feeds it out to Holbrook. Gorman against the 3-2. And that's Hairston who takes the shot, couldn't get it to fall. Did a good job hustling after it. I thought for a second that she might pull a Tracy McGrady. Well, maybe not quite with the dunk part. In case you're wondering what I'm talking about, back when Tracy McGrady played for the Magic, he bounced the ball off the floor and off the backboard, and then caught the ball off the backboard and dunked it home. You'd think if the Harlem Globetrotters were looking for an extra player, they could use something like that. There's a turnover as Anaya Hill steps in front of the passing lane. Hill, with the quick motor up the floor, feeds Diaz, but her 3 no good. And Landegren wasn't looking for the ball. It goes out of bounds off of her. Kayla Johnson will come into the game for the Generals as we are down to 3 minutes to play. Ayanna Patterson with a season high in points of 28 as Diaz misfires on the 3 and Johnson goes for the rebound. She may have been fouled in the process. And she was. Foul was called on Brooklyn Freem. She's a freshman. Generals get the ball in play. That's Holbrook who comes up with it. She feeds it to Hill. Gorman, late feed out to Diaz. As we approach the final 2 minutes of the game, there's a takeaway. Sandlin loses it into the hands of Johnson. And back down the floor comes Hill. Hill trying to get into the paint, and she is fouled. Coming up on 2 minutes to play in regulation, as Homestead is about to go to 3-0 on the regular season. And again, we've got a couple more games coming up for you tonight on Summit City Sports. We'll have Concordia versus Northrop at 7:30. And Dwenger versus Snyder, I believe that's also at 7:30 as Diaz misfires on the three ball. Up the floor, and that's Freem who puts it in. Brooklyn Freem, her first bucket of the night for the freshman. Hill off the catch and shoot, left it short. Leaning in is Holbrook, and she is fouled. It'll stop the clock at 1:20 to go. And fouls are one of the few things that stop the clock in running clock situations. They also stop it in substitutions as the call is made against Sanaya Sandlin. So Holbrook at the free throw line. And it rattles out. Sandlin is there for the rebound. She just gets it to Hillary Adams. Catch and shoot from the corner, no. Sandlin going after it. She's got it, but she threw it out of bounds. Only person who was there to catch that one was not a player, but the referee. Here's Hill across the timeline, trying to get inside to Holbrook, out of bounds. Last touch by Holbrook. Homestead takes over. Adams gets the inbound. And she'll get it across the timeline. Sandlin trying to get it in off the glass. She does not. Second chance, and Sandlin is fouled. Aaliyah Holbrook called for that foul. It's her second. And Sandlin could not put that one home. That second free throw rims out as well. That was Holbrook who gets the board. Hill finds Gorman. Gorman going to put up a three ball from long range. That one wouldn't fall, knocked around, and Homestead's got it. Four seconds on the clock, and now Homestead's just going to run out the clock. The cheerleaders saying they should shoot it, but Homestead is going to let the clock run out and win the game. Homestead defeats Wayne by a final score of 75-16 here at Wayne High School. Well, for Homestead, they got to Wayne early and often. Had some good scoring opportunities on the interior very early on and took advantage of them, largely with Ayanna Patterson. She got most of her buckets on the interior, scored 28 points. She was the leading scorer. Also, Homestead able to take advantage of some turnovers and turn those turnovers into transition opportunities, which led to the win, 73-16, your final. And our Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game is going to be Ayanna Patterson. She scores 28 points, a season high for this year. It's very early in the season, but 28 points, and Patterson was averaging 24.5 coming into this game. Definitely tops that today. So Patterson is your Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game. So that'll do it from here at Wayne High School. The Spartans of Homestead come in and knock off the Generals of Wayne 73-16. For everyone at Summit City Sports, this is Thad Goff saying so long from Wayne High School. You have been watching this broadcast of high school basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance. I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.